This happened a few years ago when I was 19. I had come back home to Ohio for Thanksgiving break. It was one of those freezing November nights. The streets outside were empty. The neighborhood completely silent. Everyone in my house was asleep, except me. I was in the living room around 2 in the morning, scrolling on my phone while the TV played on mute in the background. That's when I heard it. A sound that didn't belong. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate, crunching against the gravel driveway. First I thought maybe it was a neighbor, or even an animal. But then the motion sensor light outside flicked on. Curious, I walked up to the window and pulled the blinds open just a sliver, and that's when my heart dropped. There was a man standing perfectly still in our driveway. He was tall, wearing a dark hoodie with the hood pulled up. His hands were buried in his pockets, and he wasn't moving, just standing there. For a moment, I tried to convince myself it was nothing, but then I noticed his head. It was tilted upward. His hood shifted just enough for me to see his face. His eyes were locked directly on my window. He was staring straight at me. I froze, my stomach knotting, as I heard my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. I didn't want him to know I'd seen him, so I carefully backed away from the blinds. I grabbed the landline phone, whispering as I dialed 911. The dispatcher told me to stay calm, stay on the line, and wake my parents. My dad rushed downstairs, still half asleep, as I pointed toward the driveway. He yanked the blinds open wide, and the driveway was empty. No man, no movement, nothing but silence. We figured maybe he had run off when he saw us, but my dad still stepped outside with a flashlight to check. That's when I noticed something that made my blood run cold. Right where I'd been peeking through the blinds was a foggy smudge on the glass. It wasn't there before. It looked like the mark someone leaves when they breathe on a cold window, which meant whoever that man was, he hadn't just been in the driveway. He had been standing inches from the glass, staring in at me. The police showed up about 10 minutes later. They searched the property, but didn't find anything. No footprints, no signs of forced entry, just the mark on the window. They told us it was probably a drunk person who wandered off. But something about the way that man stood there, unmoving, unflinching, and the fact that he was close enough to breathe on the glass, that wasn't someone who was lost. That was someone who wanted to be seen. And sometimes late at night, when the house is quiet, I swear I still hear it. The sound of footsteps crunching slowly in the driveway.